This is Earth year 2023, a new time on the planet, a new opportunity for many people to feel this sense of rejuvenation, to start anew, but also another time on Earth where humanity will continue its rise into the light, its rise into the mass awakenings and ascensions. If we're going to be real here, healing is not easy, awakening is not easy, and there's a lot of things that kind of tie into that. Of course, it seems super spiritual and esoteric, but something that we have to remember is these are all somewhat similar concepts we've either heard about, read about, watched, or learned in school at some point in time. You can think of it as an intersection to science, an intersection to psychology, just this necessity for us to almost understand how we have gotten to this point where these experiences that have unfolded in front of us are leading us to ask more questions about ourselves, about our lineage. And this is really where the journey sort of continues and begins. So 2023 is ushering in this necessity to deprogram any ideologies centered around the matrix. So ideologies that are essentially keeping you imprisoned in an old way of thinking, an old being that is no longer in resonance with the timeline that your soul is meant to be on, with the journey that you're meant to progress forward on, with the potential future legacies of your family tree. There could also be an indication to deprogram any mindsets that are limiting to your conscious, lack belief systems around money, around abundance, around receiving what's good for you, whether it's love or monetarily through money, through finances, or through opportunities. Some people say that there's a big chunk of humanity that's lost, that cannot be deprogrammed from these limiting belief systems and these mindsets because they've just been so dug down deep into that matrix ideology. There's no way of taking them out, and other people believe that it is possible. Now, if you believe that people are capable of change by simply mirroring that ideology back to yourself, you've changed every year. You've changed since your lowest points. You've learned something about yourself. So what's there to say that other people, no matter how deep in the programming they are not able to awaken? The thing is it goes back to as within, so without. Some people have their designed and destined by fate, and by destiny, time in which they are meant to awaken. So, for example, some of the collective, when this kind of sort of energetic catalyst began with the mass awakenings, we'll say into the Aquarius age, the golden age, just before the whole 2020 situation happened, there were several collectives that started awakening by the masses. So it started with 2016, then 2017, 2018 for my awakening. And the thing is that we're due to have more than one awakening. That's how my guides are currently phrasing it right now. By the way, again, if you're new, I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsentience. My most powerful gift is a mixture of clairaudience, where I hear and simultaneously receive via clairvoyance the imagery. So we've also called in, of course, Divine Source Creator to help me be the best channel that I can with this message about programming. And sometimes I sit on these messages for a few weeks, but it's very evident to me in this moment, because I received this message just a few days ago, that I needed to hurry up and record this because I already had the knowledge I needed to share with you all in regards to this message. Most of you understand this message, that 2023 is going to be the time where we will need to have and experience a mass deprogramming of the collective consciousness from the matrices ideologies, these capitalist, meaning it's not political, money input systems that seek to override, oversee, sort of like I'm hearing a big brother concept on the collective humanity consciousness. People might feel like they're constantly getting watched, or they're finding themselves in this sort of loop where they can't get out of a system. They can't get out of the rat race, if you will. And so that is going to be changing. So including the awakened ones, the ones who have already been on the path of ascension now, who are ascending at a rate in which they are no longer needing to experience a new level of awakening. They're aware of corruption on the earth. They're aware of what needs healing in their generational tree. There might be other triggers that come along the way, because that's natural to human life, to human experience, to have some type of contrast so that we can continue to learn. There's not really an end point there, but you can think of it as, yeah, you have healed other versions of you from the past because you've been doing the work. So that is going to lead you down the path of ascension, which means that you are then going to be put in a position in 2023 to serve humanity on a bigger and larger scale. And that's only going to be revealed to you through other people that come into your life to show you what is possible for you, but also through the downloads, meaning the ideas, the creativity that comes in that allows you to take what you have experienced and what you know about yourself and use it as fuel to create something that's going to allow others to benefit from your story. So we are going to be called to step into this place of action, productivity, solution seeking, service to others, as well as the importance to self-prioritize our needs, our boundaries, our space and time in 2023. And with that coexisting, there's going to be a lot more mention among the collective about right and wrongs, the blue pill and the red pill, the split I'm hearing, the divide between right and left, politics and ideologies and opinions. Yes, there is global warming. No, there is not global warming. And you will be led to decide what it is that you want to deprogram from your conscious, but the message is to remember and recall that where you come from is of a neutral place. You have the right to understand and see and recognize and therefore speak out. I'm hearing against malintent, against evil, against lower vibrational energies, against hatred, injustice, and division, separation on the planet. You are being called to speak out on this, even if you are not super knowledgeable, but you are aware that there is things that are happening that are choosing to divide people from the ultimate message that, again, we are all one. It takes time to come to terms with the truth when it is presenting itself as a bit brutal, as a bit of a reality check. And in some ways, for some of you, in a sense of feeling almost like you've been betrayed your whole life. But the point is that the knowledge is presenting itself to you because you are actually in a soul energetic level, which is ahead of your physical body and your mind in this experience where your soul knows the way. And so you would not be receiving knowledge, or you would not be receiving an experience, as we know that is not in benefit to your exploration, to your timeline in that point where things are a lot more dense, they're thicker, it's 3D, it's the difference between ice and water, right? And that's kind of the place in which energy is moving. It's almost like a snail's pace. The atoms are really stuck together in this experience, and so it does take time, but we're reaching times, my friends, where it's going from solid to liquid to gas slowly. And for many of you who are on this ascension pathway where you've done the work, you've deprogrammed these older narratives and timelines, these mindsets and beliefs, you are going to find that you are in a gas state of being, meaning that the 5G frequency or whatever dimension beyond 3D that you are feeling in resonance with, that is of unconditional love and light of the highest order, is going to connect you with that bridge of truth, of inner knowing, of awareness, of breaking older paradigms and systems, of speaking your truth from a place of unconditional love without judgment of where other people are at, despite how asleep they might be. Programming goes deep. Programming goes deep because it's implemented in TVs. When you hear the saying back to your regularly scheduled programming, that is literally back to the mirror, the black mirror that is a TV, which is a episode on, it's actually a TV show on Netflix that I recommend all of you check out. Some of the stuff from those shows have already manifested in our physical world. In fact, the metaverse clearly is shown on that show, and I believe that show came out in 2017, 2018. So it's a little spooky, maybe even 2019. It's spooky how those things sort of show up. You know, different TV shows are disclosing information, but they also program you to believe a certain thing about a certain industry. I might even do a part 2 to talk a little bit more about the programming that goes on around us. We are constantly programmed from a younger age in schools to believe that we already have to know what we want to be when we grow up, to have sort of a job already set in our minds. Some of you will find out the truth about these different industries, education, medical, prison system, as well as within the government and media, about what these industries do to program you to believe certain storylines. And so this is the year where you're going to deprogram and check in with yourself. This is the year where you're going to trust your journey, your inner compass, and your guidance system. You are being guided at this point in time to trust your inner compass. Your heart knows the way. Do not be fooled by anything that causes fear, that causes you to believe that there's not enough, that causes you to believe that you have to live for someone else, that your value comes from a job title or from your money, how much money you're making. These systems that make us so anxious in who we are, to believe that we need to become people that we are not, are no longer going to suffice on planet Earth. There might be pockets of these societies and civilizations, is what I'm hearing, that are going to continue on, such as with the robo-technology, the AI, people who are going to continue to invest in those timelines, but perhaps some people will either be the spokespeople later on by awakening later on and realizing the truth of those timelines, or if they are to be lost, which we won't know until the time comes to even retrieve that information, so it's best to not think the worst of people first and to trust in humanity, then we're going to see what's going to happen and the truth will be revealed. And just remember that unless the person comes to share their story, then we will only receive a fraction of the truth. And so the truth cannot be suppressed. What is done in the dark will come to light. That is written in fate, and you don't even need to be a psychic to know that. You are here in the present moment, alive on earth, to share your story and continue to learn new things about the world around you, which only leads you as within, so without, to learn about yourself, which is going to help in the process for your life and future generations to come. So it's time. We're going to take the key to the door. We're going to unlock all the things that just are not serving. The junk needs to go in the trash, and we are going to deprogram all the storylines that are not fitting in this equation of life anymore. And should you return to older paradigms, narratives, systems, stories, or programs that have outdone and outdated their purpose on planet Earth, then you will be matched with another lesson to be re-reviewed with. And that is up to you. If you want to experience another lesson, you'll find out when you're in the middle of it. That's usually how it happens. What you do with your truth in this year and in this moment is the most important part of it all. I send you all so much love and light. I'm wishing you many blessings in your 2023. Let me know if anything in this video resonated with you. Let your light fam know in the comments below. And until next time, collective, go and grow.